Okay, lesson one, I want to talk to you about some guitar techniques, and there's a bunch that I showed you in the past with bends and vibrato and all that kind of stuff. There's a few more, and I'll show you some here, and I'll show you some more in the future. Right now I want to cover tremolo picking and some muting issues. So let's get into that. With tremolo picking, what we're talking about is the kind of quick picking that maybe you hear Eddie Van Halen do in a lot of his solos, all right? And what we need to do for this is to build up speed, and you need your pick to be working in a nice, smooth, efficient manner, okay? The way to build up speed with tremolo picking, and hey, I'll admit I'm not the fastest guy in the world. Honestly, I don't use this technique a whole lot in the music I currently play, but hey, maybe I'll end up in a Van Halen tribute band sometime soon, and I'll be back to this kind of stuff. It's really fun to do. I do throw it into a solo here and there. What you want to do is, of course, you need to be doing alternate picking, no matter what. There's no way you're going to do fast tremolo picking if you're not doing alternate picking. So hopefully you're doing that at the very least. All right. I've shown you a lot of pick exercises in the past, and basically, if we're taking that pick and doing down up, down up, down up, alternate picking like that. And so in the past, I haven't really focused as much on getting that down up motion as quick as you can possibly get it. But if you want to do the tremolo picking thing, you probably want to get pretty fast. So you need to take your down up and just gradually speed it up until it's going as fast as you want it. And I would recommend that you just take it slow. You're going to tire out your wrist. My wrist got a little tired just from doing that little bit right there. You're going to tire out your wrist, so you may want to work on it in little spurts. It's also a little different depending on the position of your hand. Sometimes I find it's easier on the first string because you're way down there, there's nothing in the way, but if you're trying to do something in the middle, sometimes those other strings get in the way, or your finger catches on the string. Those are things that you'll work out the more you practice it. So with tremolo picking, you just want to get that pick going. Try to keep your wrist nice and loose, all right? That's tremolo picking. All right, when you're playing guitar, especially if you're playing amped up guitar with a lot of gain, a lot of times you're dealing with the issue of feedback or the strings buzzing when you don't want them to. And I want you to understand the issue of palm muting. Palm muting is with your pick hand, and basically what you're trying to do is you're going to take what we call the heel of your hand and place it down on the strings. All right? Obviously this works better with an electric guitar than an acoustic guitar. All right? But I'm placing the heel of my hand down on the string, just as if I have it right there, just tilted up. When I'm playing, I'm keeping pressure on the string with the heel of my hand. And I can loosen the pressure, release the pressure if I want more guitar tone to come through, if I need that string sound to come through more. But a lot of times this is the tone you want, especially if you're playing hard rock or metal. You want that muted tone. If you were trying to play Metallica tunes, you need that mute. That's what he's doing all the time. You can't really get the right sound if you're just leaving the strings open. So if you're in the habit of having your hand up in the air like this and playing your guitar like that, you're just going to have a lot of extra noise. You're not going to be in control, especially if you're playing electric guitar. You want to get used to that muting, okay? That's palm muting. It takes a little practice. It takes getting used to. But eventually it's just second nature and it just takes care of itself, all right? I do sort of rock my hand a little bit back and forth, again, without thinking about it, but to let up on the string or to clamp it back down, all right? And notice I have my hand in front of the bridge, sort of over the pickup. Depending on the design of your guitar, you may find it more comfortable in one place or another, all right? That's palm muting. It's a very important technique. Okay, we talked about palm muting. Now I want to talk about muted strings. Another technique of muting to keep some of that buzz or some of that noise. The buzz isn't going to go away if you've got a high gain amp, but the string noise will go away. Okay. A lot of times you're holding onto the guitar and you just want to put your fingers down on the strings but not press down. I'm not pressing a chord. I'm just sort of holding it there. And there's a lot of times, think about like the beginning of Jimi Hendrix, Voodoo Child. He's got that whole thing going on. Robin Trower uses that. Stevie Ray Vaughan uses that. A lot of guitar players use muted strings and that percussive strumming as part of the song. It's kind of a cool thing. But you need to understand muted strings. They show up in a lot of rhythm patterns, okay? And so you may be strumming a chord. You hear me hitting the chord, and then you hear a muted string in between. Listen. All I'm doing is releasing the pressure. I'm holding on tight to that bar chord when I'm playing it, but when I need the muted string, I'm just letting up the pressure. So now those strings, they're just muted, they're dead, okay? Yeah, if you're looking at internet tablature or tablature in a book, a lot of times you'll see X's on the strings on the tablature, and that's what they mean by that, muted strings, all right? It's important. You need to know about muted strings, all right? There you go. There's 3 really useful techniques for you. I hope you get them into your playing as quick as possible.